Aliquippa was different in terms of its housing process because you could actually buy your house. That was very uncommon in mill towns. Most of the time, you just had to rent it. So the Woodlawn Land Company owned all of the housing, and that company was, of course, owned by J&L Steel. But what you could do here was buy your home on credit against your paycheck. So you could own your home, which was a huge benefit. But mill housing still worked on hierarchy. You also had benefits like churches and things built nearby. So you can see here, you have a church called the All Saints Episcopal Church right across from the St. Titus Church. And then you had the St. Titus Roman Catholic School as well coming up. So you had great benefits around you despite having to work in a steel mill. Also, by that freedom of choice in buying your home, you could locate near the ethnicity that suited you best in Aliquippa. So right here by Keel Street and the new Constitution Boulevard, which connects 51, it was like Serbian, Slovak, Italian, Greek. So the communities really thrived. This is just down the street. This is the Harris building, which had a theater inside of it. You can see on the old 1929 Sanborn maps, it just says movie, so nothing else special there. The real loss was the State Theater, though, at 560 Franklin Avenue. It's a 1,200-seat theater, gorgeous, and I'm trying to figure out where exactly this lamppost was. So that one was there, and that green space there could have been an additional one, but this one looks oddly familiar. You be the judge. So let's take another look at it here. I think that's the same thing. It could be. Now, another bygone era of customer service, the Franklin Sporting Goods store. So apparently they had everything. And of course, using all the space they had, it was floor to ceiling. But they could find it in a matter of seconds. So you went in there, you asked for something, they came out with it right away. So it's sad to see things like that go. This is looking back a few years on Google Street View, so you can just see what the signage looked like there. Of course, it's gone. But when you look back at the map here, the space and the width of it looks like something else. And they actually had billiards in there too, in addition to sporting goods. Used to be a bowling alley, so that makes sense. Now, the area used to be called Woodlawn. So this was the Woodlawn Trust Company, so obviously a bank and company town. They had things like this, of course. Now I'm right across from the Pittsburgh Mercantile Company that I talked about in my last video. That was the company store for J&L Steel. So you're driving out of town. This was the main street, so this was chock-a-block with shops and retail places and things like that. But I want to point your attention to two specific buildings that have just recently been torn down. There's a 3-story and a 2-story. One was an auto showroom. It's sad to see things like that go. It's really cool to repurpose it. I'm not sure what was wrong with them, but evidently they had to be torn down. And this was the hotel. This was the Franklin Hotel. Another showing you that the town did in fact need hotels. There were people coming there to work and stay for even short stays.